First of all, they're always sending me new cases, and that's comforting to know. I don't take every case. I'm selective. I'm busy all the time, but I have the confidence that I can take on cases when I want to. I'm always careful not to overload myself and take on more than I can handle. And that way I can devote more time to my clients. LegalMatch has been very supportive. They check in with me every once in a while to see how things are going. If I have a problem, a technical problem, for instance, they will be very helpful to me. So all in all, I would say I'm satisfied with LegalMatch. It's been helpful to my practice. Well, just like I say, it keeps me going. If you're a sole practitioner, you have to worry. At times you may settle case and there may be a time when you don't have so many clients and you wish you did. And so bingo, I just rely on LegalMatch. They give me clients. I take them up as it fits my schedule. I wish I could take more, frankly, but I know my limits. I know how many I can do at a given time, and they've been very helpful. I live in Vermont. I'm in the northern part of the state. I have clients from all over the state. And the reason is that now we have Zoom and WebEx, right? And we rely on Zoom and WebEx because of COVID. But this has been a very dramatic technological change for our profession, and I'm sure for many professions. So now you're not restricted in who you can represent. And also your hearings, for instance, are by WebEx. So all I have to do is tell my clients how to get into the hearings, and that's very easy. All the instructions are there. And we just do it all as we're doing now, electronically, so to speak. I get leads. Every day I get leads. You have a case. The problem is I can't take them all. I just can't. I'm very glad that I know that they're there, and then I go in and I read what the situation is, and I decide, is this something I want to take? And that's always very helpful. There's an initial description of the case, and then if I choose, I can communicate with the client. We set up a time to talk. There's a consultation. It's free for the client, and I get a sense of the case, and the client gets a sense of me, and then we proceed. And it's all sort of nicely laid out by LegalMatch. So there's no mystery to the whole process. The ones that I respond to, in which we have a conversation, they end up being my clients. That's just the way it's worked. I have not yet turned down a client. I had one person who called, tried to set up a time, and just sort of fell away. And I don't know why that happened. That was the only case. In most cases, it ends up with me representing the client, and then we proceed. I guess I get the most with the satisfaction that the cases are there, that they're waiting for me if I want to take on more. So I think that's probably the best. I don't have to go out and advertise. That's another thing, because LegalMatch is constantly sending me cases, and I can pick and choose. That's just, it's satisfying. It takes some of the stress out of my legal practice to know that I can always rely on LegalMatch to find another client. If there's a period where I may have fewer cases, I guess my tip would be, if you're looking for clients, LegalMatch is an excellent way of finding them. And of course, you have to gauge what you can take on. It also depends on the fees that LegalMatch charges. It may determine the nature of your cases. For instance, some of the bigger cases, the monthly fee is larger. But anyway, you do get the choice, and you get a lot of feedback. And I was hesitant at first because, in fact, there's a fee. But as LegalMatch said to me, look, I mean, you can't really lose. If you take 2 clients based on our fee, you're already winning because you get your retainer and you proceed. So it can work out for an attorney, especially for new attorneys who don't have a track record. I would assume it would work quite well for them. I would say give it a try. And obviously, now that you've got this video presentation, they can check it out. I know I did that. In fact, I asked LegalMatch, I said, look, I want to know how this works, how successful it's been. Could you give me some names of attorneys? And LegalMatch has done that. And so I was able to check with a few attorneys before signing up, and they seemed satisfied. So I gave it a try.